Alright, so the first thing you had to do was print out all the back pages of the syllabus for each of your classes. You're going to use this to kind of put on your calendars and your check sheets. So as you can tell, once I finish things up, I would cross them off or check them off. So as you can see, I cross them off or check them off. I also used it to add notes, important items, or if dates changed. Towards the end of the semester, I would highlight things that I still needed to do. So for the calendar, the first calendar, it was for the due dates. So first, I would also label which week it was. I would write down the items from what class and when it was due. Oops, hold on. So you can see they start getting further apart because I would cross them off once they're due. This one was canceled, so I just made notes about that. I also wrote my work schedule in this one. So this one was mainly for due dates, so I only wrote the due dates really in here. My other calendar was a lot bigger. So this one I did day to day. So each day I had something I needed to do and had a list of the items I wanted to try. So since this was a discussion paper, I knew it was going to be a while, so I put it in for 3 days. I try not to overpack myself because then I know I'll be overwhelmed, even though I do make sure that I put at least one thing per day. Once I'm done with it, I'll cross it off. And as you can see, I've moved some stuff around because I either wasn't feeling it or I felt like one thing I was more into than the other. So as you can see, your schedule can probably change around. And at the top, you can tell I put the week number down. And again, I also put my work schedule in this and any appointments I had in this. So it kind of depends on your activity because some weeks I just stopped doing it, as you can tell. And after I noticed I really needed it, I started to do this. And the first thing I did, but I put it towards the end of the list, was this list. So I wrote down week numbers, 6. So this is just scrap paper, 14. So I did a piece of paper for each week. I did the classes I have. And then I wrote down the assignments for each week that the syllabus said needed to be done. So as I got finished, I'd cross them off. Sometimes I would write notes on the back of them, but that's fine. So I did this. This was the one consistent method that I used for crossing things off. I also wrote quiz percentages. I was figuring some stuff out on this, as you can tell. And whenever things were canceled or we didn't do it, I would just cross them off on here. And I did put them, there was a couple weeks that the assignments for the class was in 2 weeks. So I felt even better when I crossed it off on 1 week and it was still in the next week. And I usually put the projects ahead of time. So see how I said project was due. And let's see, where did I put start project? I mentioned project 1 here because I knew I had to start it before it was due. And there we go, start project number 2. So I at least gave myself some starting time for projects that I knew was going to be a little bit. So that is how I did my organization. It is a lot, but you can use bits and pieces of it. Everyone organizes differently, but it's definitely good to have your assignments organized because if you have a bunch of assignments all at once, you will feel overwhelmed. So that is kind of how I did my assignments. So see how I said discussion paper canceled. So I wrote notes on all of this. It is very important to at least have your syllabus. So I hope this helps you guys, and good luck in the semester.